Nexxlegacy.
And what's good, people? Definitely had to get that song out there for the homie DJ Quick. You know what I'm saying? I know he's listening out there, so just want to send a shout out to him. And welcome, people, to the best week ever on Friday. This is your host, Brandon. Got a pretty hot show for you tonight. And want to send a shout out to the people that really paid attention to a lot of what we were talking about with the Conspiracy Theory Thursday from last night. We had a very good night. We was getting into politics, deep into a lot of different things. And, you know what I'm saying, just we pretty much just told the tale, you know what I'm saying? So we just trying to make sure we keep it 100 for you guys and you know what I'm saying, just keep this, not just this vintage music vibe we got going, but also some real stuff. But, you know, I hope you guys had a good week going into this weekend. I know it's Saturday morning, and most of you towns out there on the east side, so I just want to say what's up to you guys. And love the fact that I was getting a lot of emails, especially when I was actually going to get a guest tonight. And, you know, this man actually did a lot of work with, you know what I'm saying, The Matrix, Panther. His resume is pretty thick when it comes to his acting and things like that too. And I want to welcome Marcus Chong into the house on Vintage Music Radio. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, Brand, man, this is fun. Thank you. I'm really happy to be a part of your show.
It's good. I'm glad you here, first of all. And I didn't really have to do no research on you, man, because, you know, like I said, I pretty much already knew who you was when your name came across my board, man, as far as, you know, you coming on. So I just want to thank you for coming on to my show, man.
Yeah, no, it's a good opportunity for me. The time, there's a lot of energy in the air, you know, and it's time to get discussions going. So I wanted to be the first one to break it open. And, you know, you know, I'm a big fan of DJ Quick, too, by the way. You know.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. You know what? And he's out there listening, too, so that's definitely a good look, though. Yeah, so.
No, he's a champion. He's a champion of that music stuff.
Exactly. And, you know, we come with a lot of different things, not just supporting the underground people and hip-hop, R&B, and alternative, and so on, but, you know, we try to be one of the first and last places that people need to go for, like, real information. So if people want, you know, such as yourself, you come in and you speak the real and you say what you feel, and, you know, there's no holds bars. You know, we have the floor open always for you. So that's definitely what we try to do.
Well, I was watching Raging Bull the other night, so I'm ready to get into the mix.
Very good. Hey, now, I already know who you are. Now, a lot of people pretty much just like listening right now, and they want to know, okay, Marcus Chong, his resume includes. Just go ahead and tell people a little bit about you. You know what I'm saying? Just for those people that don't know you.
Okay. My first Screen Actors Guild job, I was 10 years old. I was in Roots, second generations, and I got to work with people like Alex Haley, and it was really fun and a great way to start off my career to understand, you know, what quality is. And then when I was about 21, I had the chance to do the lead on Broadway, where I won an award, the Theater World Award, which is a really prestigious thing, and just been doing theater and film. I had a show, Street Justice, with Carl Weathers, who's Apollo Creed, just the best guy in the world. And, you know, doing stand-up roles, stand-up characters, and I had the chance to do Huey P. Newton, and that was a tough gig to get because I really didn't know a lot about the Panthers at the time. And I auditioned for Mr. Van Peebles, Mario, and he liked me, and he gave me a great break and discovered me on a leading man level.
That movie was good, man. I mean, you know, that movie, and like I said, it's just like the moment I heard your name, it was just like, he was on Panther. I was like, hey, not only that, you know what I'm saying? He was on a handful of other things. So, you know, I'm still kind of like, you know, a fan first. So
really, I love to hear that because it was such a project of passion of love, and I was surprised because when we made the movie, they put millions of dollars to discredit the Panthers and to ban the movie from theaters, and we had to do so much just to get people to try to get into the box office that first weekend, and a lot of people went and saw Fridays. And Friday's got a big box office weekend, and we didn't we didn't have an extended release, and they got us out the theaters as quick as they could, and pretty much shuffled that movie. Like, we never got a 10-year re-release, you know, onto DVD. Like, most of the DVDs, I think if you get them, they're bootlegs on the internet and stuff. I don't really know. I know that I've been waiting to see the movie on Black History Month for a long time. I never see it.
Yeah. See, that's another thing that I'm kind of surprised about, as far as, you know, especially when you have it in, you know, February or any time, you know, it's not. It just seems like it's kind of like, you know, either swept under the rug or not existed for some reason, which I don't get.
And there's some great Brandon. There's some great talent in this piece. Chris Rock, Bobby Brown, Angela Bassett, Courtney Vance, Bokeem Woodbine, you know, just a abundance of talent. And it was a pretty good movie, too, I thought. You know, being the first to really deal with a topic that, you know, we didn't know about in our generation, which is so important to know the truth of how beautiful Huey was, how gorgeous, how much of a scrapper and a representative of his people, who really went the distance, who was a great hero, who was, you know, shot and assassinated in the streets and, you know, discredited on all levels. When he was 19 or 20, he started the Panthers. So it was fun to play Huey, and I'm looking forward to playing him again in another movie in his later years. I'm hoping that.
Yeah. We're here live on Best Week Ever on Friday with Marcus Chong, and you know, with the resume like that you have with Panther, and you know, a lot of emails came to me over the last couple of days, and you know, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, that he played Tank on The Matrix too, right?" And you know, that answer was a yes, and you know, and I know. Reading up a little bit and stuff like that, I know there are some situations that I'm not sure if you want to talk about it or not that went on with The Matrix, but if you do, the floor is yours to kind of, you know, tell people how that whole concept thing was and how you felt about it when you were actually on set.
Yeah, I think, you know, celebrities got to tell the good and the bad. You know, we have nothing to hide. We shouldn't. You know, our lives are out there. You know, the public deserves to know the ins and outs. You know, shooting a movie, going into the deal, you know, they took me going into the deal, basically. Like, going into the deal, they was going to rob me because they had made a contract or did some kind of illmatic negotiation where I would never get a residual check ever. And I have not been paid a residual check to this very day yet. And I'm wondering, I wonder how Lawrence Fishburne would feel if he never got his residual checks from Matrix. I bet he'd be pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
And where's Brother Lawrence? I mean, he's the most dignified brother. Like, where's he at? Like, step up. You even give me a call and be like, yo, you good? So when I called him out and was like, yo, man, I deserve to get residual checks, they was like, nothing. And then they had their agents go behind my back and negotiate my deals for the sequels when I already had signed a contract with these attorneys in Century City. And basically, if I would have breached my contract with those attorneys, then they would have sued me. So they decided just to fire me instead of revealing that they negotiated my deal in a conflict of interest behind my back.
Now, did they actually, you know, upon being let go, did they pretty much just say, hey, you know, did they explain to you what their intentions were with you once you were hired? But, you know, to me it kind of seemed like just from what you were saying that they just didn't really know what they either had or they didn't really know what was going on themselves. It kind of seemed like it was a chaotic situation. And then once they got to you.
No, that's a great question. But they knew what they were doing for sure. They just didn't want, you know, to pay any cash, and they didn't want. I don't know really what their deal was, but they're not naive.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
So what happened was when I complained, they had this guy from Warner Brothers threaten my life, and so I called the police. I'm about to do a knockout blow. I called the police. You know, for help. The police told me to come down to the station, so I went down there, and they arrested me on the spot.
Wow.
The people from The Matrix arrested me for making them a hit film, and then for standing up to get my money.
Wow.
And
so
then
did they try to, like, you know, they arrested you on what basis, on what charge, I guess?
Oh, this was in 1999. They said I was a terrorist because I was like, fuck you, man. You can't threaten my life.
Right.
You threaten my life, I threaten your life. I mean, we'd be equal. But the difference was when I went to the police for help, they had me arrested and never asked me one question, never heard my side of the story, nothing. And immediately I had to pay for a $50,000 bail. So I lost money on The Matrix because I never got a residual, and they paid me under $50,000 in the original contract. Now, the guy that played Cypher, Joey Pantoliano, who's a great actor, terrific guy, he got $1 million, and I got $28,000 and not a penny more for The Matrix.
Wow.
I mean, I make more at McDonald's. But why should I work at McDonald's, though? I didn't go to Broadway. I didn't do Roots and all that to get $28,000 and make them a mega hit, because it would cost them nothing to say, here's a little cheddar for you. But they would rather make an example of me. So ever since that arrest, I've been harassed by the police in Hollywood ever since.
Wow, and to this day, that still continues to be an issue with you, not just dealing with them, the creators of The Matrix and stuff like that, but also, you know, you still get that from the police too in that area, or is it just
it set a tone. It set a open season. It's open hunting season for certain actors once that kind of tone is set, which is once I get, you know, I'll tell you an example. 2 years ago, I was sitting at a breakfast table outside in Los Angeles. 5 police cars pull up out of nowhere at my breakfast table with their tasers out, and they say that I'm committing suicide. They got a random phone call that I'm committing suicide. I said, no, I'm just having an omelet.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. This is all recorded in the police records, and we're dealing with these legal issues now the best that we can. They insisted I was suicidal. They took me to jail beyond my will and basically kidnapped me right there. The doctor met me for 5 minutes. He was African-American. He let me go. He was like, this guy's not a problem with. And they've been harassing me like that. Even I had to basically leave Los Angeles just a few weeks ago because they were harassing me so hard I just couldn't stay there.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like you've been like a heavy target, you know, during that times and things like that, and still put out on the record to this day, you still not only haven't gotten anything as far as pay from your part that you played on The Matrix, but you know, are you still being blackballed as far as you know, any acting jobs or anything like that that you may have or may have had talked about in regards to that?
I mean, I don't even want to give them the credit of that, but they certainly won't hire me, if that's what that means. I mean, they'll hire me, but they won't give me a chance to audition. I mean, I haven't auditioned yet. I haven't auditioned, so no one has ever said I'm a bad actor. They just won't give me the chance to act.
Wow. I mean, and this is with, you know, across the board, basically, like, you know, not just dealing with them, but just like in general.
In general, yeah. I mean, if I want to go and really eat crow and really, you know, go do a McDonald's commercial, you know, maybe I'll get lucky and get a McDonald's commercial. You know, maybe I can start over that way and start flipping burgers from commercials. But why should I do that? I'm a Broadway award-winning actor who's got a reputation of talent, who has a reputation of quality, who's done nothing but make hits for studios and make them take them from the black and put them even into the blacker. So I don't see why I should have to lower my standard just because they want to strong-arm me to lower my standard. So instead I went and I wrote a novel, and this novel is my expression of, you know, that they can't stop the power of the artist, that the artist always has a voice. He has to just channel his energy differently and empower himself. And I'm turning this all around so that it'll be a positive message and let let people know that, hey, man, it's okay to fight with the pen. They might want to discredit you and make it look like you got a gun in your hand, but when I had guns in my hand, they've always been props. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a gangster. I'm an actor. But when I wore that black beret, it was a beret. It was a wardrobe. There was a wardrobe lady. We have prop men who give us the guns. There's no real bullets. We have actors. And for them to take that image and try to make me be that in real life, you can't even give me that credit because Huey P. Newton was too badass for me. What I'm saying? Who could hang with him? It's a compliment, but I'm not that tough. And, but I am a tough actor. I mean, I knock it out on the scene. I'm a revolutionary on camera, but I'm an artist in real life. We don't, our weapon is talent. Our weapon is not knives and guns. And, a great DJ Quick, man, I mean, he's an artist, man. He's going to write lyrics, perhaps, or set a tone, but that doesn't mean he's out there doing it. And
exactly.
What happened to freedom? What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to saying, hey, you didn't pay me, that's not right. You got to pay me. And so because I don't get paid, they can assassinate my character, assassinate my career, and assassinate me. And make me, and then put me on a T-shirt as Tank when I'm dead, and make money off of me like they had love for me to begin with.
Very true.
No.
I was going to mention that too because I know that was one of the things that I didn't get, and then it's just like I said, not really reading up about you because it's kind of like every time your name would come up, I would always kind of take a look and see what was either being written or read or whatever's put out there. But it just kind of seemed like especially with all the stuff that you had to go through with being on the Matrix, like before we get into your novel, like with the stuff that went on with you and the Matrix and stuff like that, do you have any regrets or anything like that as far as dealing with with them Warner Brothers, right, or the creators of the Matrix or whatnot? Do you have any regrets?
I don't think I have
outside of the norm as far as you not getting paid.
No, I don't, because I was thrown into a snake pit. So I mean, you can't help where you end up. You just have to deal with it the best that you can. You don't want to sit there and be a victim. I don't regret. It doesn't mean it was the idealistic way that I would want things to turn out. No, but I think that there's an overall reason that things occur, and I think that I'm starting to see that reason more in my life now. And there's more to all this than the gold. There's more. There's the soul. There's destiny. Everyone played their role so perfectly in this whole conspiracy. So one against many is, I've always loved those characters, Conan the Barbarian, Bruce Lee, all my heroes have been in the position that I'm in real life in the movies that I've loved. So do I regret it? No, because I've become the heroes that I've portrayed almost. And it's a part of that. It's a part of where we are in history, where a black person has the freedom to do this. It's okay in this country to say America is ridiculous. The police are ridiculous. It's okay. That's called freedom of speech.
And we're here on Best Week Ever on Friday with Marcus Chong. Got a fat resume as far as playing Huey Newton on Panther. Got a lot of props and a lot of love from people sending emails as far as your portrayal of him. Also played Tank on The Matrix, and as you well know, and it's pretty much documented, he didn't get a fair shake as far as playing Tank on The Matrix as well. And a lot of people have seen you on TV, during those particular times too, because you did a couple of TV stints on a couple of episodes too,
Brandon,
right?
You are so sharp. I got to give you your credit. Your research is on the top because your timing is good. And you have really great questions, man. Thank you, because you really know what you're talking about, and I like your vibe. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Tell listeners a little bit about your, some of the things you did on the Tube too, as well.
Yeah, I did Law and Order. That was really fun. Ice-T got me that role. He suggested me they needed a half black, half Chinese actor, and I got to play this serial killer. It was fun. It was really fun because I would take young Chinese girls and bleach their skin and do terrible things to them. So that was really fun in the show. I didn't really get to do it, but you knew that my character was bad, and evil like that, so that was fun. And
Yeah.
I got to work with the stars of that show, and they were really cool people to work with.
Very good. And, kind of like not really going backwards, but, a lot of it as far as, actually I am going backwards, to be honest. I mean, when you first, because you said you were doing some acting and stuff like that when you were 10, right?
Yeah, Roots was my first Screen Actors Guild job, and from there I did Little House on the Prairie, and I always had the luck to get leading roles, so I always had good dialogue and got commanding scenes with people like Mr. Michael Landon, and I got to do Facts of Life, and Jermaine Jackson was on that episode. That was cool to meet Jermaine Jackson, and I worked on a show called Lazarus Syndrome with Louis Gossett, and that was a pleasure. He had won the Academy Award from Officer and a Gentleman, and I had good friends growing up. People like Todd Bridges were my best friends growing up, and I knew a lot of children actors who ended up not making that transformation to adult actors, which was kind of...
And you know what? That episode with on the Facts of Life when Jermaine Jackson was actually on there, yeah, that brought back some memories when you brought that up. I was like, oh my God, that was a favorite of mine. I was like Facts of Life, but that was one of those little things where it's kind of like, that's why like not even really worried about your bio. It's kind of like I knew you before you knew me, so it's kind of like I'm more or less like, together. Wow. Exactly.
We all grew up together, basically. I mean, I love those times. I want to get some kind of thing together where all of us from those days can get together again. The Stoney Jacksons, Todd Bridges, all the cool cats, that was doing their thing back then.
Now, with you being in Roots, the second generation, and you had your stints on, the movies and stuff like that, and the TV shows and stuff, with being a child actor around the time that you were coming up, did you feel like was that something you always wanted to do, or is that something that you pretty much just kind of like found yourself in one day? It was like, oh, I think I could do this. Let me stick with this.
Yeah, I kind of fell into it, but I mean, I fell into it when I was young. I was a natural. I've always been a natural. But being a natural is not enough. You got to work hard to be a professional natural who can work. It's like going from college football to pro. You don't always make that transformation. So, you can't stick to being a natural. You got to wake up really early. You got to do a lot of reading. You got to do a lot of rehearsing, a lot of mimicking, a lot of transformational work. Research. And then you have to, keep those business relationships working. And when you go over so many generations from 10 years old to your teens, to your 20s, to your 30s, and your 40s, you're talking about people retire and live and die, and plagues come and go within those kind of years. So you got to just really cherish the moment, and your values change, though. At one point in your career, you may want a TV series. Another point, you may not. At one point in your career, you may do film, and you don't want to do anything like theater. Another point in your career, you may want to do only theater. Someday you may want an Academy Award. The next time you may want to donate the Academy Award like Marlon Brando did. Sometimes you may want the millions, and other times you may want to say, I don't want the millions. So it just depends on where you are in your career.
And we here live on Best Week Ever on Friday with the man, like I said, is, as far as career following and all this other stuff, I mean, the resume is thick and it's out there, and, Marcus Chong is definitely his resume is definitely there, and his name is out there. And actually, I have a co-host of mine from Conspiracy Theory Thursdays, Mr. N. Sense, is on the line as well, and I know he wanted to say what's up to you, too. Go ahead, Mr. N.
What's good, fellas?
Oh, hello.
Hey, Mr. Chong, what's going on, man? It's an honor and a pleasure.
Yo, it's my pleasure. How are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm actually still getting a lot of comments and different types of feedback from our show last night, and I'm still having a chance of trying to get to run it back, and I apologize for not being able to get you on, but we definitely need to get it back on, I guess, Thursday or whatever, because we got a lot of good feedback and a lot of good responses, and I got some questions that, I would like your opinion on, you know what I'm saying? So.
Wow, yeah, that's cool. That's great. I'm down. anything I can do to keep it going. I want to, keep the mix going. So.
Oh yeah. I've been able to. Go ahead,
bro. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I just jumped right on. You know what I'm saying? Because when we talked, I was trying to charge up my phone, so I haven't been able to find, really hear what was going on. I just heard the last couple of minutes. What you were talking about. So.
Oh yeah, we pretty much. Me and Mr. Chong and I, we pretty much we gonna continue to hit on some of these things, and I know Mr. N, I know as far as conversations that we had, I know some stuff that as far as his time, as far as being playing Tank on the Matrix, and his role that I know you knew from playing Huey Newton on Panther, and did you know he was on the Facts of Life? Remember the Facts of Life that had Jermaine Jackson? And, that was an episode that Tootie was pretty much just like going nuts over Jermaine Jackson.
That's right, that's right. That. And I know the dialogue. I still remember the dialogue because memorization is my best friend. The dialogue.
Yeah.
She went, I'm the president of his fan club, and I went, yeah, I'm the first lady.
Yeah.
Dang, he's taking it way back.
I remember, that was him. Mr. Instance, that was him.
Now thinking back, like I said, when I seen his face, I was like, man, y'all know that cat, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you saw I know that
ugly dome.
It's to me, it's just like it's just like I told you. To me, I kind of feel like it's you've been like in our tubes, and a lot of people, a lot of the young people that either don't know or the contributions that you made in this business is definitely respected, and your time as far as not being satisfied as far as playing Tank on the Matrix and not being paid for your work there just shocks me, and the way I feel as far as my opinion as far as that goes, and not just the whole blackballing and the entertainment business. I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world, but at the same time, it still shocks me to this day as far as how, a lot of actors like yourself is being, like, mishandled or mistreated,
Well, have you heard the latest news about Terrence Howard and Iron Man 2?
No.
I heard he, I don't know if he got dropped or they got somebody to quickly replace him. I don't know the story behind that, but I know that's what I heard.
Basically, they fired him for whatever meaningless reason that they have, and they hired Don Cheadle. And I think, like, Don Cheadle needs to work, right? Like, Don Cheadle needs that role to do. Like, come on, Don, what are you doing? You need a blockbuster hit that bad that you're going to take a cut? Why wouldn't you just walk away and be like, yo, give Terrence a call and be like, they tried to offer me that shit. I wouldn't take it, dog. I got your back. I understand. Let some newcomer take it. They did that same thing to me with Harold Perrineau. But here's the real deal. This is the secret society thing that's going on against Terrence Howard. Is the casting directors have their own little clique where they're saying, don't hire Terrence Howard. Now, this makes me very upset. This is a light-skinned brother who represents, who's got pretty eyes, and why not put him on camera? Why not give him this opportunity to make a little cash? The Iron Man 2 is not going to make nothing but big breaks off of this one. I just don't understand it. And I don't understand these casting directors who don't want to challenge Paramount Studio by association. So if they hire Terrence, then Paramount's not going to work with that casting director, and that's where these agents and the casting agents are working together. It's these agents who are pimping this game and deciding the fate of black actors who basically got their dicks on leashes.
Wow. Wow. And to me, that's like one of those things. It's kind of like that in the music industry, where it's more or less like exactly how you're explaining it, but you're explaining it on something that I feel like not only people should know, but to be aware of. Because somebody that has an established resume such as yourself, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it should be like super duper easy to get a role, but you should at least have those opportunities and shots to be able to take it and run with it if the opportunity presented itself,
Well, the thing is, Hollywood is so whitewashed, it's so brainwashing, that they can do it right in front of our eyes. With a project as big as Iron Man, which was a great film, Terrence Howard's job on that project was to not fuck up the movie. He was not there to He was not there to do scene-stealing moments. He was there to make certain that the thing would not fall apart, to support Robert Downey, make certain Robert Downey don't go out there and do a bunch of, drugs, whatever. But all the actors that they got them on some low-rate stuff because Robert Downey needed that role. Terrence Howard was a box office hit. Jeff Bridges, but they're all Academy Award-nominated actors. Why is Terrence singled out? I don't know that. Why would the casting agents make such a slanderous, and that's against the law. I mean, first of all, but
right.
Hollywood is untouchable. You see, that's the last frontier that no one has really said we can reveal what's going on moment by moment, and that's where my novel, The Arch, comes in, because I'm going to explain moment by moment how they do these things, but I do it in a way that I talk about the life of Alexander Dumas, who wrote The Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo, who was a black man back in the 1800s. And he's a cool cat, too. He was like Huey P. Newton. He was just badass and cool. But we have to now start dealing with Hollywood in a different manner, which is, come on now, you turn it around on us right now. It's reverse racism. So the light-skinned brothers are now thrown into the field of Hollywood's plantation slavery system. And, you're going to, this is all about demographics. This is about who can get international box office appeal, who can get urban markets. This is not about let's make the best movie we can and let's give everybody a fair chance.
Right.
Yeah, it to me is one of those situations where I feel like a book like the one you have coming out called The Arch is definitely it's probably gonna be one of those that's gonna shake up Hollywood, just for the simple fact that a lot of truth telling that you are telling it's gonna turn a lot of heads, and a lot of people are gonna open their eyes. And and not just read, but just be aware, because it's something that needs to be done. But a couple of emails that I just got too was more or less, well, a couple of people say they loved your work on Tank, even though they kind of now know the truth, which is good. Thumbs up, what I'm saying, as far as the
I mean, it only took 10 years, but sometimes you gotta keep yourself low and wait for the right time to let people know. And I think the fans were always innocent in this. The fans, they were always left in the dark. And, they had to see the movies for themselves to know, was the movie better with Tank or without Tank? I thought they were better with me, personally. I didn't like the sequels. If I was on set, I would have been like, Larry, Andy, you guys are messing up. You cannot have this ecstasy dance going down in Zion.
Yeah.
But
we also got sorry to interrupt, Mr. Chong. We also got a emailer from his Carter's in Milwaukee. He's a 54-year-old man. He pretty much just says he remembers you from Little House on the Prairie. So, he just wanted to say,
I love the Little House on the Prairie fans. I love Little House on the Prairie fans because it was at a special time when I was a young man, and I was thrilled to have anyone recognize me and acknowledge my work as a young boy, as Samson. It was an episode called Blind Journey, and I had to play a blind kid who couldn't see race. I couldn't see the difference of why people were against black and white. And that role, it was a really good experience. Michael Landon was a great guy to work for at that age.
Yeah.
So I got a question. How, speaking back with your book, how, are you going to have some major backing so you're able to, get it out, to the public, or are you still, going through that process of getting, a big publisher or whatever? Or?
Well, I am just finishing the editing, and the book will be available early next year. We don't have a major publisher yet, or we don't have major backing yet, but we're kind of going to tour it a little bit like a concert, like a rock concert would tour. So we're going to put, we're going to be going and doing book signings, and we're going to have people come out and have a chance to meet and raise discussions. The book it's not a hit-you-over-the-head approach. My next book, The Plot Against Marcus Chong, will be more directly of what's happening. This is more of a mystery to find a treasure, but I tell my story and the story of Alexander Dumas in a fictional form so that people can have a good adventure. It's really like a Da Vinci Code. It's like a national treasure, that movie. because I wanted to do something fun, something that I can make a good movie out of. I didn't want it to be like, you know, just a downer.
Right.
We're here on Best Week Ever on Friday with Marcus Chong and Mr. Incense. This is Branded. Continue the emails and continue to send it over to vintagemusicradio@gmail.com. Vintage Music, that's music spelled with a K, radio@gmail.com. And, you know, continue to spread the wealth and show the love as far as for this man who, like I said, to me, his resume alone, you know, is one of those to the point where impact can be made with just not just the name, but the book that's going to be coming out at the beginning part, hopefully the first quarter of next year, and things like that. But as far as your acting and things like that, is that still a passion that you do have at the end of the day, or is that something you pretty much just kind of like the sun is setting, or is that still something you want to do?
Wow, that's so well put, man. The sun is setting. Whoa. Damn. You hit me hard with that one, Brandon. Gee. The sun is setting. I don't even know how to respond to that. Well, I can tell you I just got out of film school.
Okay.
So I finished the Art Institute. I had to get my education on. And finished the novel. I am preparing myself to get into acting training again, but I'm a director as much as I'm an actor now. I'm making that transition to control the aperture and shutter speeds on the cameras, and you know, giving myself an opportunity to tell some stories that I think will be interesting.
Wow, that's pretty good. Have you considered, you know, at least, you know, especially in this entertainment business, and we know how cutthroat it could be, have you considered, you know, branching out and doing some entertainment things on your own for other actors, actresses, and things like that too?
You mean as far as hiring other actors? I mean,
yeah.
I definitely would like to discover great talent. I mean, that would be a joy to watch young talents go through an acting process that I think would make them better actors, and the shrewdness that it takes from the experiences I've learned from working in theater at the Music Center in Los Angeles, the Criterion Roundabout in New York City, the Manhattan Theater Club, the Marines Memorial in San Francisco, the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles. Working on these commanding stages, you know, have given me a experience of how to really find the chord to the actor. So I want to share that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to find a young Mekhi Pfeiffers and Omar Epps and young, you know, Halle Berrys and young screenwriters as well. Yeah,
Marcus Chong is here on Best Week Ever on Friday. Callers, call in 347-215-8653, and I actually have a call from the 586 area code. You on the line with Branded, Mr. Incense, and the man of the hours, Marcus Chong. What's up?
Nothing.
586, you're on.
Hi.
Hi.
Is this show about acting?
Yeah, we can talk acting.
Oh, okay, well, hold on.
Hello? What's that, a scoop on this, babe?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes.
Hey, girl.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
I want to be just like Oprah Winfrey. How do I do that?
You want to do what?
I want to be like Oprah Winfrey. How do I do that?
Work hard, probably read a lot.
Face, trust, and pixie dust?
I beg your pardon, sweetheart?
Face, trust, and pixie dust?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh. So who the hell are you?
Who the hell? I'm just a young guy on the radio. They give me a chance to get some airtime.
Oh, you're young?
Yeah, we're... Okay. Yeah, 586. Interesting. Keep listening, and then when you do, you could you'll know exactly what time it is. But Okay. With
yeah.
Okay, that was a weird one, but that's okay.
I had a good question, you know what I'm saying? We really wasted our time on that. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started, Brandon.
Hey, I know.
You know what?
I
That's actually very interesting, because if you look at where people's energies are put, they're not put on constructiveness. They're put on silliness. And, you know, we got enough silliness, so this is a chance. You know, you got enough of Batman and Will Smith, so it's a time to get a little taste of something else, which is some reality. And, yeah, man, you know, there's wars going on all across the world right now. So this conversation isn't the most important conversation, but at least it's coming to you direct, and it's coming to you live, and it's giving you a chance to speak up and to have a moment and to be a part of something, as opposed to be immature and pretend like going to Starbucks is cool. I'm from Seattle. No one from Seattle goes to Starbucks. But what does that mean to bean pickers in South America? What does it mean to the covert operations that this government is doing right before our eyes? Okay, you can't wait for Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt to do it for you.
Exactly.
So I thought that phone call was very important, and I thank those ladies for showing their true selves.
Oh, yes. It was important, but I think my question was still better. So let's get to
Your question is better.
Yeah, man. How was it working with Mario Van Peebles, dude? That's my dude, man.
Man, Mario, I think he should be given way more opportunities to work as a director. I loved Badass. His father's movie. He knew more about the Panthers. He knew my role better than me. He did his work. He really knew how to do the tone on set. He was a professional all the time. I really loved working with Mario.
Yeah, man, that dude. I came up off that dude, man. I'm like, yo.
And his father Melvin, man. His father Melvin Van Peebles. I mean, whew. He was clean and sharp and on point. I mean, you know, they're my heroes. You know, I love those guys.
you know, we had the funny callers from the ladies or whatnot, and like Mr. Chong said, it's one of those that's needed. But also, I think I'm gonna take something from what she said and try to turn it into a question. And you know, she said something about how can I be the next Oprah or whatever it was that she said. Now, you got a lot of people that's trying to be the next somebody else, or the next Oprah, or the next Will Smith, or the next, you know what I'm saying, Marcus Chong, or the next whoever. Now, when it comes to just the acting in general, do you feel like it's something that's out there that you feel like, okay, well, you know, should people try to emulate somebody, or should they just go ahead and try to be their own selves and define their own craft?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a journey. You know, I remember when I first met Andy Garcia, and I said, Mr. Garcia, I thank you so much for the acting choices you've made for making me so much money in my own career, because I would have to rip off a lot of his moves at that point in my career. But you get to a point when you can't rip off people. But that's not bad, because imitation is flattery. It's a good thing. But at some point you have to be yourself. You know, at some point you have to just, you know, find yourself. And at some point you can't even start copying your own moves at work. You have to throw those away and reinvent yourself. But yeah, I think you have to be yourself always. But, you know where you get inspired, you know, and be thankful for that. That's wonderful. Thank you for that opportunity to inspire me, man. I love the moves that Brando did. I love the moves Denzel Washington does. I love the moves so many actors do. So, yeah, Heath Ledger and Joker, man. I mean, you might want to rehearse his monologue and try to make it his way and make it your own way. Try to be versatile. Try it all.
I feel like what he did on that movie, and it's to me, it's just a shame he couldn't really like reap the rewards of it. I just think the job that he did was fierce on that movie. I just think he did a more than an amazing job on it, though.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He'll be nominated. He was brilliant, and that's a really Brandon. I like the way you put that, which is he didn't get to enjoy that. And I know that because I never got to enjoy The Matrix. I never got to do any of the things that, you know, showed that I got to enjoy it. It basically wiped me out of it. So, you know, I mean, that's the way it goes. But I enjoy the fact that I can be here to transform and still start a whole new career over again. Because, you know, it's kind of boring to watch Britney Spears. It's kind of boring to watch everybody go through these motions and not ever stand up and do something. Like, I'm not so impressed by all the money now. I'm a little bit more like maybe the money fucked them up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that because, I mean, you already know how the tale is going to, the tale is telling already just by Britney going through the whole thing with the whole husband thing, the kid thing, the drug thing, the, you know, declining career thing, and now her pending resurrection. So it's kind of like one of those things where, you know, it might be cute for like the tabloids and stuff like that, but I think if anything, people just need to just go ahead and just flock to something new or a new way of doing things nowadays, because it just seemed like that's a revolving door with soap operas, you know.
Yeah, but that, as long as people tune into that, they don't have to tune into their own real problems, because they can just deal with Britney's problems.
Good point.
So why deal with your own stuff? You know, go deal with her shit.
Right. Hey man, I had a speaking of your situation with, you know, The Matrix. I had a rumor. I heard a rumor a few months ago off of a certain person's show on Blog Talk Radio, and she was basically saying that she had information about, I guess, one of the original writers of The Matrix. The script was stolen from her, and I guess she was a black female writer.
Yeah, there's a trial going on right now with Sophia Stewart, who has a lot of incriminating evidence that proves that she sent the Wachowski brothers and the studios manuscripts that were extremely similar from the evidence that I saw to the Matrix script. I mean, that hasn't been decided in court yet, but based on my dealings with these guys, they have no integrity, so I would not be surprised.
We have one question from Randy out in New York. He said he waited up because it's like well past midnight out there, but he waited up just to you know, see you or hear you. One of his questions was, what do you prefer, theater or behind the screen?
Being on screen or theater, I love it both. Theater's really hard, but so is being on camera. You know, you get to so many people, and you can have great special effects in movies that you can't do in theater. But at the same time, at theater, you have the person right there with you, and they're working hard with you just to watch the show, and that is a priceless experience. So I like them both. They're both equal.
Okay. And we're here on Best Week Ever on Friday with Marcus Chong. Got Mr. Incense as well as me, Branded. Continue to send the emails to vintagemusicradio@gmail.com. I appreciate the people in the chat room filing in as we speak. And also, what I want to do, too, is, you know, as brief as you talked about as far as the book and that it's coming out hopefully first quarter in 2009.
It's available online, though, now. You can pre-order it at theartnovel.com. The site's being built, but you can still pre-order it right now. Or you can go to, if you want to keep tabs on me, Marcus Chong, myspace.com, Marcus Chong. You can get involved, and you can order the book and pre-order, which would be less money, and probably get an autographed copy or something like that.
See, Marcus, you pretty much just kind of like you got inside my head, and you knew exactly what I was going to ask you, and that was a whole build-up into, you know, tell people your MySpace. Tell people if people can actually pre-order it. Look at that. Look at that.
You are a brilliant way. Look how you led me. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Lead me there. Show me where to go.
Very good. Now, to me, I kind of see, well, actually, we got a few people actually having a pretty good little discussion, not just in the chat room, but also my aim is up, my instant messages as well. A lot of people just kind of like reminiscing on some of the older stuff that you've done. We had a lot of 2D conversations right now. We got a lot of people just like, I remember that guy. I remember him. Wasn't he? And to me, I think that's always a good thing, especially when you are an actor and you definitely want to do it because not just because you love it, but you want to be remembered for the body of work that you do. So, I mean, do you, especially when it comes to not just the movies, but all the things that you've done, and even though there's more from you, do you feel like a lot of the resume that you've created alone is you can pretty much put that up against anybody? Do you feel confident about what you've done from everything from Roots to
no. I mean, so many people have great bodies of work. I can't compete with some of the magnificent work that's been done by so many great actors. No, I was happy to be a working actor and happy to have the opportunities to do, the small chances that I had and make the best of them. Sometimes you have to make the small roles bigger than they were, but no, I think it's just me. I'm more proud of the work that I haven't done in the past because they only let me do a film once every 8 years or so at this point. I'm happy for all the films that I haven't done in those 8 years. The work that hasn't been put up there because there's more power in that silence and in those things that I should be doing 3 films a year, so maybe there should be 48 more films on my resume. And those films are the ones that I cherish because I never got to do them. I've already did the other ones, so I experienced them already. Like, I don't watch my films. I don't watch my work because once you've experienced it, you did it, watching it is not the same as actually doing it. So I get joy of doing it. And I miss the fact that I didn't get to do all those films that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I cherish those things that I missed. I know that probably sounds weird, but I have to find value in the longing, I have to be happy and satisfied in some way. I can't be sitting around here upset and bitter. So I'm thankful that I didn't get to make any of those films that I could have done. I'm thanking Hollywood and all those people out there that run the studio and run Hollywood who wanted to just have that job so bad that they had the power to say no, but never the royal power to say yes. I thank those people.
Okay.
I thank those powers because I cherish what I haven't had.
That's words to live by. Words to live by, definitely. And with us getting ready to set you up for a part 2 to this, because actually I'm kind of like checking. I'm looking at emails, I'm looking at chat rooms, and I'm looking at instant messaging, and I'm looking at just some overall messages that a lot of people have. We got this guy Mario. Mario's from Texas, and he pretty much was like, well, with everything that you've done, you definitely should be able to start your own production company and start doing some stuff like that. So he wanted to leave that to you as a statement as well.
Wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I want to do it all. I'm at the point in my life now where I'm not caught up in the romance of the what's the term when you the sedated nature of Hollywood and the world, America. I'm not sedated. I'm very much awake. I'm very much eager to get working. But I don't want to be a sucker in the game though.
Right.
So we're going to produce things. I went to film school, and I just finished. I mean, I was acting my whole life. I didn't have a chance to go to college when I was younger, so I had to wait. And I used the time of this whole whatever you call it, not hiring process to go to school, and do what I didn't get to do when I was a teenager. So I got to relive my childhood a little bit. Yeah, I didn't waste that time. I wrote a novel. I did a lot of short films. I was, an A+ student, and I'm a pretty good director, and I'm a pretty good writer. I had to learn some new talents so that I could come back empowered and hiring people. I want to give people a chance to work, to show their talents. I want to find directors, screenwriters, production designers, fashion designers, actors, musicians, composers. I want, this is what this is all about now. So I'm starting what is called the Artist Renaissance Movement, which is arm yourself, artists. So that's what we're doing. We're going to arm ourselves. I don't want to copy the Black Panthers. We don't carry guns. We carry talent. Our talent is our weapon. So we're going to be armed with talent. We're arming ourselves with talent in the Artist Renaissance Movement. You can go to MySpace, the Artist Renaissance Movement. It just is starting up today, and yesterday we've been working with my graphics team to get the T-shirts and all that stuff. It's going to take a while because it's all a process, but you can start being a part of it early on and give us ideas. Give us images and what you want to do to contribute, because for us to do this as a renaissance together, we all got to come together as artists. So this is a chance for us to organize and not be revolutionaries. We're not the Black Panthers, because those great heroes, they must be remembered for what they did. We can't try to steal it and sell T-shirts and profit off of it. So we're starting something new. The fist was their symbol, but the fist is connected to the arm. So we're going to make the whole thing. We're going to extend the body. We're going to arm ourselves as artists.
I like that. That's definitely that's definitely words to live by. And before I let you go, Marcus, I definitely want to say, I'm eagerly anticipating part 2 of this on Thursday for Mr. Incense, his Conspiracy Theory Thursday, and we want to dive more into just the chaotic nature of the entertainment business, and also your experiences that I feel like we can definitely pass on and share, and a lot of political stuff as well, because a lot of times when we get on that show, like last night, we had a very, very strong show. A lot of people, was reaching out, looking for you too, and they found you here tonight. And I got to tell you, man, it's definitely a blessing and a half to be able to not just talk to you, but include you in my circle of people that I know. So it's just like now I could go upstairs and I could call my mom and tell her, hey, you know what? I was on the phone with Marcus Chong.
Well, you guys are the hot thing. You guys are the hot stuff. I mean, you guys have this platform, and you're using this internet medium to its potential. You're going to exhaust this resource, and you're giving me an opportunity, and I thank you for that.
Definitely, and I'm looking forward to you next Thursday for part 2. And I know there's a lot of people. Once again, can you throw out the MySpace, because we actually had a few people asking about it too. So go ahead and tell the people your MySpace page right now.
Oh yeah, myspace.com/Marcus Chong, myspace.com, the Artist Renaissance Movement, and you can get the novel at thearchnovel.com. It's a site that we're putting up for its own thing, where you can get a lot of merchandising and keep up to date. And Branded, you're doing the damn thing, man. Keep it up.
Hey,
I'll
what?
You guys next week, right?
It's because of people like you, man, and I can't wait till we go at it for part 2. And Mr. Incense, I know you want to say something before we let Marcus go too.
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, I can't wait till part 2, because and just to get a quick plug out, for those of y'all that missed last night, download the show. There's some information that we talked about, man, for hours that everybody needs to hear. And definitely when we get back on, Marcus, next week on Conspiracy Theory Thursday, there's some things that we ended the show on that I definitely kind of want to jump out the gate with you on, just as far as your opinions, on a few topics that we were talking about. So,
man, you guys are good at what you do. So I'm just having fun actually just being on the radio. So it's gonna be fun.
Well, it's a pleasure, man, and I can't wait till next week. And actually, you got a hell of a lot of fans out here that actually appreciates what you not just do or doing right now, but what you've done too, as far as your stamp in this business. So you're well appreciated, man, and that speaks volume. Not just with me and Mr. Incense, but you got a lot of outside people too, man. It's a good deal.
Well, I thank all the fans. I know it's been a little while. But think of it like this. They said Bruce Lee was going to come back after 10 years. He didn't. They said Tupac was going to come back after 10 years. He didn't, but I'm coming back. The 10-year anniversary is next year, and I'm bringing some heat. I'm bringing some quality entertainment, and power to the artist.
Right, there you go. And power to yourself too, man. Can't wait till we do it again next week.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, appreciate it, Marcus.
All right, stay up, guys. Stay healthy.
All right, you too. Marcus Chong got that big body of resume, Matrix, Panther, on and on and on. I'm telling you, he definitely coming back.
Nexxlegacy.